travel with me.
Hey fellow humans, Mina here. Welcome back to another Drive and Talk, either Japan edition where it's either my friend filming me on a GoPro while we're go-karting, or use some of my footage that's actually usable, or it's me in Korea on a bike. I don't know, we'll find out whichever I use when I'm editing, and you'll find out right now while you're watching. You can tell if it's the Japan edition because I'm considerably less tattooed, and in the Korea one, it's just me on my bike driving around. Anyway, last week we had the first book review of a year. It was a 5-star book where I had some hot takes on it, and this week we're continuing the trilogy with One of Us Is Next by Karen M. McManus. Yeah, Soren. She's right by me right now. That's why you can hear her really well. So yeah, this book is also another 5-star read, but we still got some issues and there might be some slight spoilers, so if you don't want to hear them, come back after you read the book. If you don't care, well, stick around. So yeah, this book probably didn't need to be written. It was most likely a cash grab, but did that matter to me? No. It doesn't. I enjoyed the ride besides its many flaws, and trust me, there are many. But as I mentioned in previous book reviews, just because there are a lot of issues with the book doesn't mean that it takes away from my enjoyment, hence the high rating. I will say, however, that the stakes did feel a little low compared to the previous book. Big Truth or Dare game, The Promise of the Premise, seemed to be barely a plot line for most of the book and took a back burner to other things like the character's love life or Maeve's possible relapse with leukemia. It was a choice. I'm not mad, but it was still a choice. As for Maeve and her leukemia, I get why she didn't want to tell anyone that she might be getting sick again. No one wants everyone they love to be upset again, and it's hard for everyone. But does she not want to live? I get why she doesn't want to tell, but girl, if you're relapsing, which thankfully she wasn't, wouldn't you want to nip that in the butt ASAP so that you can have a better chance of surviving? My girl waited weeks and she didn't tell anyone until she was caught bleeding from her nose in front of Nate, and he forced her to tell. If she hadn't run into Nate, would she have kept it going until it was actually serious? Also, as interesting as that mini side plot was, I'm not sure what the point of having the relapse scare was all about. It didn't really add anything to the story. Don't get me wrong, I was invested, but still, it did bring a little tension between Maeve and Lewis, but it was also kind of helped Bronwyn and Nate get back together. But did we really need Maeve to be sick to do that? As for the Truth or Dare game, it was interesting, but it fell flat. We didn't see many students playing, and yes, I know it was all part of some revenge scheme by Emma that went too far, but the synopsis made it sound like it would take up the whole book, when in reality it was maybe the first half and then died the moment someone died. Which, by the way, it took a while for a death to happen, and he was such a shitty character that I didn't really feel sorry that he died. Yeah, Simon was a great person in the first book either, but we at least thought he was for a while, so his death meant a little more. Still, even though it didn't feel as life and death, until the end anyway, as book 1, I still found it to be a page-turner. As long as it keeps me reading, I don't see it as bad, and that it was mostly a cash grab and wasn't up the same level as the first book. How about you guys, my fellow humans? Have you read the first book? Do you plan on continuing if you have read the first book and reading this trilogy? Or are you just going to keep it all in the first one? Because I do believe the first one wrapped up pretty nicely and read as a standalone. I'm pretty sure McManus probably hey, this book turned out pretty good and it's getting a TV adaptation. Let's continue for more monies. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, sometimes it just shows. I still enjoyed it, but it still shows. And we'll get into the next book and next week. And also, if any of you have seen the TV show, I think it streams on Peacock, let me know how that is and how faithful it is to the books, because from the previews I've seen, they don't look as faithful, and I know things got to change in adaptations, but the changes they made, some of them are a little questionable. So yeah, anywho, that's all I gotta say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about stuff, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye!
Oh, there's an unhappy Soren.